Hey, good afternoon to everybody. Happy Monday. It's Daryl here. It's not so bright and early. It's 3 p.m. here in Connecticut on the East Coast. You'll probably be watching this Tuesday morning, so happy Tuesday. It's Daryl here. It's bright and freaking early. It's whatever time you watch this, 5 a.m. here in Connecticut on the East Coast. I was debating when I was going to make this video because this Saturday is a special day for me. This Saturday, August 5th, will be the 2-year anniversary since I lost my soulmate, the love of my life, the woman that I was going to marry, my very first girlfriend from 3rd grade. Very first girl I ever called a girlfriend when I was 10 years old, 11 years old. Audrey. I lost her. It'll be 2 years since she was taken when she passed away from COVID. In Jacksonville, Florida, from the Delta variant in Florida, in Jacksonville. I'm making this video because whenever I talk about her on different platforms, inevitably there's other people that will comment, and I realize that everybody out there's lost somebody, especially a girlfriend, a boyfriend, a husband, a wife, your soulmate. When I watch a movie and an action film, and you see a husband and wife, and the wife or the husband, one of them gets killed, and you just see the heartbreak on that person's face, in the movie. Every time as I watch that movie, I realize that's my life. I know what that feels like. That's me. This movie showing the worst thing that could happen to somebody, it's happened to me. I'm going to talk about this a little bit. I'm going to talk about the history. I hope this isn't a boring video. It's a video I have to make. I'd like to go back and find, because I actually did a video the day she died. Like I said before, I live here by myself, and to be quite honest with you guys, you are sometimes the only people I have to talk to. And that morning I needed somebody to talk to, and I made a video. I remember I was sitting on my bed crying, making this video, and I'll see if I can find it. I'll go back and dig it up, and I'll put the link down below. I haven't watched it. Okay, I hope you guys don't find this boring. I'm going to talk about how we met, how we were from two different political views, completely different, and how it ended up taking her life. I refrained from talking about this, especially when it happened, about how she was a Trumper, and she was a conservative. Her whole family was conservative. And I would see posts from her family talking about the plandemic and how the vaccine was this and that. And I kept my mouth shut when it first happened, and now I'm not feeling so shy about it anymore. So that's good. I'm going to talk a little bit about that too. And I'll talk about how my friends, the buddies, the guys I hang around with these days, their suggestion that I go out and find me some, and how that's not an answer. All right, this is me and her. This is me and Audrey. This was taken in, I believe this was in Cape Cod, 2016, P-Town. This is her obituary. Like I said, that was my first girlfriend. She moved here from Lithuania. Then she lived in New Haven with her family. Then they moved to my town, Watertown. And she was my very first girlfriend in 3rd grade. One of the things that her sister found, I'm going to put a photo of this on the thumbnail. And this just broke my heart. After she passed away, her sister went down and cleaned out her apartment. And she found a diary from when Audrey was in 3rd or 4th grade. And she talks about me in that diary, in her little 10-year-old handwriting, about how she's going to meet Daryl and go ice skating that night, and how he's her boy. He's my boyfriend. I love him. If I had only seen that, before she passed away, because I kind of dragged my feet about marrying her. It takes me a long time to make decisions now that I'm in recovery. I take a very long time. I balk when I put up a wall around myself, and I dragged my feet when she wanted to get married. She wanted to marry me, and I dragged my feet, and she ended up moving out. And that's how she ended up moving to Jacksonville. And I was one of those guys that was emotionally cold. You know, I never hit a woman in my life, but I would just to stop myself from getting hurt, I would put up a wall. And we were living together, and she gave me like an ultimatum. She actually brought me down to Florida, and I'm so slow sometimes. She brought me down to talk to be with her parents in Florida in Daytona Beach for a week, and only after she passed away did I realize that they were like vetting me to be in the family. You know, they were checking me out to be the future son-in-law. It didn't even occur to me at the time. And we got back from Florida, and she just basically said, "We're gonna, let's get married. I'll give you, my mother's ring if you can't afford a ring." And she, and I just said, I can't remember what I said, but I backed out. And she moved out. And we still loved each other. We never went with anybody else. We never dated anybody else after that. We started getting back together because we realized, we were meant to be with each other. And that's when she decided to move to Florida. And we were talking, and within a day getting there, she contracted the COVID virus, the Delta variant, and she was intubated like a day later. I didn't even get to talk to her again. I never got to talk to her. I go back and read the text, the last text that she sent me, a smiley face and a heart. I still have that on my phone. When you lose somebody like this, it leaves a permanent hole in your life. There's a piece of me missing now. You never get over this. Every single day, whether it's the smell of the air, when summer comes, it reminds me of we love to go to the beach. When a song comes on the radio, when I see the Marvel movies, when I see a TV show, every single day, still 2 years later, and I swear and it's multiple times a day, and I'll sit here and I'll say it out loud because I feel so guilty now. And the worst thing is I can't apologize for all the things I did. How I didn't talk to her. Like I said, she wanted to get married, and I kind of backed out. And we were in the house together. She'd go off to work. I'd do my painting, and I just put up a wall. It was like I was living alone. I ignored her. And I remember kind of coming out of the bathroom. I heard her crying in the bathroom as she was getting ready to go to work one morning. And my heart just broke, and she came out and she was crying, and she said, I don't want to lose you. And we hugged. And at that point, I already know I had pushed it too far, And I think of stuff like that. And I can't apologize now. She's gone. And this I think about this every day. What's it, 700 days later, and I still think about this every single day. And I realized that I'm gonna, I hear myself saying this, and I don't know if I sound like I'm trying to drum up sympathy, but I'm gonna carry this baggage, this guilt with me, and I can't get rid of it. I can't apologize to her. I've tried talking to her in heaven, and I do that every day. Every day I tell her I'm sorry, and it doesn't do any good. I still feel this guilt, and I carry this guilt with me. Like I said, her family was a total. They were Trumpers, and they didn't believe in the vaccine. Her family actually all got sick, and she hadn't gotten sick yet. They got sick and they got better. Her father got sick, and he got kind of dangerously sick, but he got better. So she was just waiting for her turn to get sick to build up natural immunity. That's what they thought, And she drove right into the Delta variant in Jacksonville when it exploded. And she didn't get better. I found out later the hideous details. She had, what's it called, MRCA, when the bacteria that grows in the hospitals from having the intubation tubes with the tape to the face, and how it developed other ulcerated skin. And And she died all alone in that hospital room. Even if I went down to Florida, her family told me that they wouldn't let her anywhere. They wouldn't let any family in to see her anywhere near her in the room because of the COVID restrictions. So she died alone in that room with, it's just a terrible way to die. And then she would get a little, she died over a period of a month, and she would get a little better. And then she would get sicker, and then they re-intubate her. And then just, one time she never got better. And, it's 2 years later, and every single day, I miss her so much. I wish I could say I'm sorry. I wish I could do over some of the stuff I did. One of the things I feel most guilty about is, what if I didn't drag my feet? What if I married her? She would have never gone to Florida. If she never went to Florida, she would never got COVID. So it's my fault. She's dead. That's what I tell myself every day. Okay, this video isn't going how I planned. I was going to go through the whole thing of how we were kids and sweethearts and all that, but you guys have heard that already. This is something new I haven't talked about. Like I said, believe it or not, I do have buddies and friends I talk to, and they tell me, a lot of them are Trump leaning, and they can be kind of crude when they talk, and that I should go out and get some, get my mind over her. And I try not to punch them in the face when they say stuff like this to me. And that's just not an option. At 57 years old, I'm not looking for friends with benefits kind of thing, or a quickie or a one-night stand, especially being in recovery. When you have a relationship like that, you don't get to really know the other person. You don't get to know another person until you get into a long-term relationship. When you first get in a relationship, you guys, everybody has their mask up. They're on their best behavior. And as you get in a long-term relationship, you find out who the person really is. You get to see the real person. All their quirks, their good sides, their bad sides. But when you're doing this one-night stand thing, or this friends with benefits thing, you never get to see that side of a person. And in my opinion, those things always end up with hurt and bad feelings. And like I said, being in recovery, I just can't risk getting close to somebody that is using or drinking or is hiding something from me. It's just not worth it. I have no, at this time in my life, I have no urge to be in that kind of relationship. So that only leaves the long-term relationship. And I'll be honest with you guys, it gets comfortable being single. It really does. It takes a lot of, when you're in a relationship, you really have to compromise. And after I lived this way for 2 years, it's hard to give up. I'm doing what I want when I want. But then when I really look at it, what am I doing? I got a YouTube channel, I paint, I exercise. I wouldn't be, what would I be? It would be more beneficial to me probably to get in a relationship, but sometimes it's scary too, I guess, because you put your heart out there, and once you get in a relationship like that, and it happens quick. It's another thing I noticed. The last 2 relationships I had when I was clean, I hooked up like with Audrey. I knew her in the past, and the girl before that, Paula, I knew her from when I was in my teens. And once there's mutual attraction there, and you start texting each other or a phone call, it goes quick. The relationship really builds very quickly, and your heart is out there very quick. And you could be hurt, and I still think I'm putting up the walls as I used to, like I talked about. I don't know. It would be nice to find someone to be in a relationship with. I think it would relieve some of this pain that I feel every day. I don't know if the guilt will ever go away. I don't think it will. I don't know if I really wanted to. I feel like I deserve it. Those are just some of the thoughts I think I'd share with you. It's about 15 minutes. This video did not Nothing like I planned. It was just kind of a heart to heart. I hope you enjoy it. I probably won't get that many views. We'll see. I'll put the link down below. Like I said, I wasn't sure when I was going to do it. The anniversary, the 2-year anniversary is this Saturday, so I was debating, and I just decided to do it right now. And I'll probably do another one depending on how you guys react to this one. Like I said, the link will be, I'll see if I could find the actual video from the day she died. I don't know if, I don't know if I could watch it. And if I do watch it, I don't know if I'm going to actually put it down for a link down below. If it's there, it's there. If it's not, that means I changed my mind. All right. Tell the people around, I know this sounds corny, but tell the people in your life that you love them. Show them you love them. Don't let little things, don't let your ego get in the way. Put your heart out there. Take chances. All right. Have a good Monday or Tuesday, whenever you watch this.